Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. How are you? Hope all of you are fine and you have done your previous task. Students, today we will discuss the statements and the exercise of unit number 11. First of all, we will discuss the statements. Statements are very easy, so I will explain here from the book. Theorem number 1, the first statement is that if two arcs of a circle or the congruent circles are congruent, then the corresponding chords are equal. Means that suppose that they are saying that if two arcs of the circle are equal, in this circle if I have taken the arc AC, in the second circle I have taken the arc AC. If these two arc lengths are equal, if I have taken of equal length arcs, then their corresponding chord, then if I will draw the chord to corresponding this arc, then this chord length AC will be equal to chord length A dash C dash. So if you will measure this, it will be also of 2 centimeter, this will also be of 2 centimeter. If the two arcs are same or congruent, then their corresponding chord will also be same or equal length, of equal length. Okay students, now theorem 4 statement is same as I have explained before. If the angle subtends by two chords of a circle, if we will take two chords of a circle or of one circle or of congruent circles, two different chords you will take, and if their central angles, if the angle subtends by these chords are equal, if one is of 60 degree, the other is also of 60 degree, then the chords will also be equal. I have just, they have said that if the two chords are congruent, these two chords you can take in same circle. I have told that in one circle you can also take in same circle. If AC you have taken of 2 centimeter, you can take A dash B dash 2 centimeter. So in the same circle you can take two equal chords, or if you want to make the diagram neat, you can take two circles of same radius, 2 centimeter radii circle you can take, and then you can take in both the circles the same chords. So the two chords are of equal length, their corresponding central angles are equal, their corresponding arcs are equal, their corresponding sector. Now this complete is a sector. By making this central angle and arc, this completes sector, so their corresponding sectors will also be equal. So this is all the statements that we have done in unit number 11. Students, your today's diary is you have to learn the objective of unit number 11. In this objective, the statements of theorem 1 and 4 is included. Only the statements of these two theorems you have to prepare for the objective. And question number 1 of miscellaneous exercise 11 you have to learn. Means that this question is of MCQs. MCQs of unit number 11 you have to prepare for the objective. Students, now we will discuss the MCQs. The part number 1 is that a 4 centimeter long chord subtends a central angle of 60 degree. If you are taking the chord of 4 centimeter and it is making the central angle of 60 degree, then the radial segment of this circle, you have to find the radius of this circle. You can see that if one angle of, this is a triangle and OA OB is the radius. If one angle of the triangle is 60 degrees, the remaining angles will also be of 60 degree. So this means that it is an equilateral triangle. If it is an equilateral triangle, so all sides of the triangle will be of same length. So the correct option is D, 4 centimeter. If one length is 4 centimeter, the other length will also be of 4 centimeter because the angle is 60 degree. Angle 60 degree means that it is a equilateral triangle. Or in other words, you can say if OA and OB are radii in this triangle, so if two sides length are equal, the two corresponding angles will also be equal. If two angles are of 60 degree in a triangle, the third one will also be 60 degree. You can find from the formula as well. Sum of three angles is equal to 180 degree. 60 plus x is equal to 180. So the third angle will also be of 60 degree. This means that it is an equilateral triangle, and in the equilateral triangle all sides length will be equal. The second part is that The second part is that the length of a chord and the radial segment of a circle are congruent. This is the statement of the theorem. If length of a chord, if the chord and the radial segment of the circle are congruent, means that chord is same and the radial segment and the radius is also same. The length of chord and the radial segment are equal, means three sides are of equal length. Then the central angle made by the chord, what will be the central angle? Obviously, if the three sides are equal, it is an equilateral triangle. Its central angle will also be of 60 degrees. Students, they have said that if the chord length and the corresponding radii length is equal, means three sides length is equal, what will be the central angle? Obviously, it is a equilateral triangle, so each angle of equilateral triangle will be of 60 degrees. So the correct option is option C. Okay, the fourth one and the third one is very easy and you can tell the answer at once. Out of two congruent arcs of a circle, if in a circle two arcs are congruent, then if one arc makes a central angle 30 degree, if in a circle two arcs are congruent, then their corresponding central angles are also congruent. So if one arc is making 30 degree angle, the other arc will make which angle? 30 degree angle, obviously, because the statement of theorem I have explained briefly. If the two chords are congruent, their corresponding central angle will also be same or congruent. So if one is of 30 degree, the other one is also of 30 degree. Okay, the fourth one is an arc subtends a central angle of 40 degree, then the corresponding chord will subtends a central angle of. Students, they are saying that if an arc subtends a central angle, if this is the arc, how we will find the arc central angle? If you want to find the central angle of arc, AB is the arc. If I will join the endpoint of this arc with the center and endpoint of this arc with the center, I can get this arc's corresponding central angle. So they are saying that the arc's corresponding central angle is of. Okay, now so the arc's corresponding central angle is 40 degree. Then the chords, how you will find the chord's central angle? You will join the chord's endpoint to the center. So this is also the chord's central angle. So they are saying that they are asking that an arc subtends a central angle of 40 degree. An arc subtends a central angle of 40 degree. What will be the angle of corresponding chord? The arc and the corresponding arc both are having the same central angle. Both of their central angle will be same. So if arc central angle is 40 degree, then the corresponding chord's central angle will also of 40 degree. A pair of chords of a circle subtends two congruent central angles. If the two chords subtend central angles or congruent central angles, then the chords are congruent. It is the statement of the theorem, straightforward. If an arc of a circle subtends a central angle of 60 degree, if an arc of a circle subtends the central angle of 60 degree, this angle will be of, if 60 degree, then the corresponding chords of this arc will make the angle. Before some time I have told, right now in part number 4, if the arc is making the angle of 60 degree or 40 degree, then the corresponding arc and corresponding chord will make the same angle, same central angle. So now it is the same statement, as the angle is different. There in previous statement the angle was of 40 degree, now the angle is of 60 degree. If an arc of circle subtends a central angle 60 degree, then the corresponding chord, if arc subtends central angle 60 degree, then the corresponding chord will also subtend the angle of 60 degree. Option C is the correct option. So the part number 7th is the semi-circumference. Semi-circumference means that this semicircular arc and the corresponding diameter. The semicircular arc and the diameter means making the central angle. What will be the central angle of the straight line? Their central angle will be of 180 degree. If you will find the central angle of a semicircular arc, this half is a semicircular arc and the corresponding diameter is this. So what will be central angle? The straight line central angle will be of 180 degree. The correct option is option number B. The eighth part is that the chord length of a circle subtends a central angle of 180 degree. It is the converse of the above statement. The chord length of, you have to, if they are asking what will be the chord length of the circle, if its central angle is 180 degree, this chord length will be of double of radius. From all the options, this is the correct. It will be double of radius, means it is diameter. What will be the chord length if its central angle is 180 degree? This means that this chord is passing from the center. This means that it is a diameter. So diameter is double of radial segment. The option C is the correct option. Then the ninth part. If a chord of a circle subtends a central angle of 60 degree, then the length of the chord and the radial segment are, if one angle of 60 degree, same situation is there. They are saying that if this chord of a circle subtends this angle 60 degree. All of you are familiar that the OA and OB are radii. OA and OB are radii. One angle of 60 degree, the other one is also be of 60 degree, because if two sides are congruent, their corresponding angles are also congruent. So if two angles are of 60 degree, the third angle will also be obviously of 60 degree. So this is a equilateral triangle. All the radial segment, then what will be the length of chord and the radial segment? The length of chord and radial segment will be congruent. Why it is congruent? Because this is a equilateral triangle. Okay, so it's the 10th and last part is there. The arcs opposite to incongruent central angle. Obviously, if the central angles are incongruent, then the arcs will also be incongruent.